Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to the Chocolate Squad. So today's video is going to be about that statue. The statue that's been put up in Times Square. I know I'm a bit late to it, I'm about 2 weeks late, but that's because the reaction towards it was so extreme that I wanted to make sure I gathered all my points before actually speaking about it. So in essence, I'm not a fan of the statue, but it's not about the statue depicting an overweight woman. I will acknowledge that many Black American women have a similar build to this statue, so perhaps when they hear the criticism about it, they may take it rather personally. And for this reason, I won't be talking about the look of the statue itself, and instead more so focus on the symbolic aspect. I do admit I have been seeing quite mixed reactions to this, especially from Black women, with some of them either liking the representation that it gives to bigger Black women, or others disliking the fact that Black women are depicted like that. Personally, some of the things that I've seen have been quite harmful. For example, I saw this one Black woman refer to the statue as a monster, which wasn't right at all. I don't endorse that, I don't condone that. I did save that video and did consider adding it into this video so you could see the video, but I realized that might be a bit too upsetting. I don't think I'll be showing that. So my problem with the statue isn't the fact that it depicts an overweight Black woman, or at least that's not my main issue with it. I've seen a lot of Black women pleased that they can finally see something that looks like them being represented. I'm just here to tell you that this isn't about Black female representation at all. They won't explicitly tell you this, but there is a reason why they put that statue up, and it's definitely not a benevolent one. Let's start off with the person that created this piece. His name is Thomas J. Price. He is a biracial man. Note, not Black. I'm not sure why they've been calling him Black in the articles. Perhaps there were American articles, because in Britain, biracial people are often just called mixed race. But regardless, yeah, he is a biracial man that has a white mother and allegedly a thin white wife. So I'm not sure where the obsession with big Black women come from in the first place. Don't get me wrong, he may mean well, but it's in vain due to the effect that it causes. I've been trying to scour some of his interviews to try and find anything that hints to Black female muse, but I can't find anything. So let's see what he says about the piece. In his own words, "Grounded in the Stars disrupts traditional ideas around what defines a triumphant figure and challenges who should be rendered immortal through monumentalization." So here he's essentially saying, these are white people's greats, and these are Black people's greats. That statue was deliberately put there to juxtapose the white male statues. And my theory is that they put it there to reinforce this notion of Black failure by placing it in the vicinity of white accomplishment. Imagine the optics, imagine the reaction from society, imagine the deliberate, intended placement of a statue depicting a random Black woman. I say random because the sculpture does not depict a real person. Imagine putting that in the vicinity of a real accomplished white person. That's what they're going for. They want Black people to, by comparison, look less accomplished. And the statue ended up eliciting such negative reactions from people, so I guess that's what they were going for. Because think about it. If you put something up and people don't like it and people are ridiculing it, wouldn't you take it down? It's almost like they want that negative reaction to be put on Black women, because personally all the negativity that I've seen from online, from people talking about it in person, going to see it, they're not insulting the person that made it or the people who commissioned it, they're insulting Black women. Mind you, Black women didn't do this, Black women didn't ask for this necessarily, but they're getting all the ridicule. The woman in Grounded in the Stars cuts a stark contrast to the pedestalized permanent monuments, both white, both men. Again, these are his own words. If this is not explicitly telling you that they're using the image of Black women to make some sort of social and political statement about Black achievement and trying to distort Black people's image by comparison, then I don't know what else will. I came across this video on Twitter that encapsulated everything that I believe is wrong when it comes to this debate.
So recently I saw on Twitter that there was a statue put up in Times Square that looks exactly like me. And when I say it looks exactly like me, I mean it's built like me. I have digitals taken in those exact clothes with that exact posing. It looked like me. So I did what any sane, chronically online person would do, and I lied and said it was me. And 97,000 people believe me. So imagine my shock when I get online and see people calling that statue everything but a child of God.
So you're telling me You lied about the statue, claiming that it was you. You self-inserted yourself into something unprovoked, and then subsequently saw all the outrage that it sparked from anti-black people on social media and felt offended by it. Yeah, I can't lie to you. In this situation, it is all your fault. No one sent you to lie about that. No one sent you to even acknowledge the statue. Nobody asked for your opinion. It may seem like I'm being a bit too harsh on her, but I don't care. This is a grown-ass woman. You should have known better than to implant yourself into something so polemic and cause yourself to be offended by personal attacks that ensued. This whole video makes me irritated because of the way she has skewed the narrative to make it seem like this was something positive that was done in a benevolent way to celebrate black women. The way she said there was a statue put up in Times Square that looks exactly like me told you that she's not capable of fully thinking critically about this due to her inability to separate herself from what is being discussed.
They calling it a disgrace to the black community, calling it a mammy, terrible representation for black women. And to make matters worse, an influencer that I thought was cool made a video about it, and in the caption had said something like, "God forbid black women are attractive," basically insinuating that the statue is part of some greater agenda to make black women look bad.
Basically insinuating that the statue is part of some greater agenda to make black women look bad is exactly what it is. And I know some people may be thinking, the average black woman is overweight. Okay, yeah, sure, but do you know who else is overweight too? The average white woman. But who is their representation? Not overweight women. And this is not me saying that there shouldn't be overweight representation amongst black people, but if you saw that statue, there's nothing special about it. There's nothing highlighted. It's not even a memorable person. It's not even a real person. If we're being honest, they didn't even try with this statue. She looks very plain, and there's nothing special about her, which adds fuel to the fire and highlights the insignificance of the statue.
Now, a lot of y'all may be wondering, Zira, why do you care? The statue wasn't actually modeled after you. Well, if almost 100,000 people agreed that you look like a statue, and the entire internet is calling that statue butt fucking ugly, you would feel away too.
That is your fault completely. You couldn't help yourself but make it about yourself, and now you're facing the emotional repercussions of your actions. There is a larger agenda at play, and you wanted to make it personal. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
As of right now, there is a good amount of representation for black women of all shades, aesthetics, and looks. We have our Marseille Martins, our Raven Lenays, our Doechis, our JTs, our Momo Boyds, our Jamie Lawsons, our Lovey Simones. So why is it that y'all feel hit when curvier young black women get to see somebody that looks like them, even in something as minuscule as a temporary statue?
Because again, it's not about representation. Non-black people have been, and still are, dictating the image of black people, and now they're setting you up for ridicule under the guise of representation. If you saw the things that black women said about the statue, the negative things, and that affected you and you didn't like it, you don't want to see what the non-black people are saying, because it's ruthless. To help make sense of why they're doing this, I need to tell you a little something about the Overton window. The Overton window is a model created in the mid-90s by Joseph P. Overton. It was created to understand how common ideas in society change over time. Although it was more rooted in politics and the policies that politicians can endorse to win over the population, it translates into real life as well. The more propaganda that you can use to make an opinion popular, e.g. black women are unattractive and it's acceptable to insult them, the more it happens and the more the window shifts from be kind to people regardless of how they look like to black women are unattractive and it's acceptable to insult them. As this happens, you're going to start to see more and more degrading content targeted at black women. And that's what I noticed a couple weeks ago, and I made that video talking about how Twitter was a war zone for black women and how I see a lot of anti-black things there, and that's because of propaganda like this. Of course, it's not only non-black people that engage in this propaganda, black people do it too. Like Big Mama and Medea, and even some SNL episodes that have been quite degrading towards black women. For example, if you've been online recently, you would have seen the whole 100 men versus one gorilla debate that's been going on, whether you think 100 men could defeat a gorilla. SNL came out with an episode called 2 B-Words versus 1 Gorilla, in which there were 2 black women that were going to fight the gorilla. How the heck did we get there? I don't understand. But also, I saw one not too long ago. You know, when Trump first started to impose the tariffs on China, there was an episode in which it was a black female news reporter telling black women that they need to hurry up and get wigs before the tariffs set in. All these contribute to the normalization of the ridicule of black women.
For the rest of you, I know you've heard a lot of people say, oh, would you say this to your aunties and mothers that are built like this? It's not just your aunties and mothers that are built like this. I'm built like this. At age 22, your peers, your sisters, your cousins, your classmates, we can see how you talk about people that are built like us online. We can see when you call women that look like us terrible representation for black women.
No offense, but if you're built like that at 22 and you're insecure about it, you can literally do something about it. And you probably should if you're insecure. Like, you're super young, it's going to be easier to be active than if you were older. So if you have a problem with it, just change it. Also, I think it's not so much to do with representation and more to do with promotion. I can't think of any prominent black American businesses or propaganda machines that promote healthy black families and people. In this case, black women at a healthy weight. I don't see that. This is important to note because we live in a dog-eat-dog world where people are constantly trying to highlight themselves as the best. So by doing that, these white American corporations promote the ridicule of black women in order to make white women look better. I know that may sound like a stretch, but look at the data. The average white American woman is severely overweight, but somehow they still have the likes of Sydney Sweeney as their representation. How black Americans differ is that whilst these white corporations dictate how black women should be viewed, there are no notable black American corporations that counter that and push how they want black American women to be viewed.
Just funny because so many of the complaints is that black women are so politicized when y'all assigned a political meaning to a statue of black plus size woman in a t-shirt and jeans. It's just so.
I don't think I need to go over this again and continue explaining how the statue is in fact heavily political, so I just want to say I hope she sees this video and is able to understand why it is political and exactly how these kinds of stunts add to the denigration of black women by everybody in society and how it's one piece of a greater political puzzle that seeks to keep black women viewed as inferior.
It's just so funny to see y'all throw other black people, especially other black women, under the bus for the validation and approval of a demographic that does not see you as a human being no matter how attractive you are. They don't give a fuck if you look like Anok Yai or Zendaya or Anna Ren. When they look at you, they see me. They hate your black ass too.
But that's literally what you're doing, throwing other black women under the bus in search of validation of a group that doesn't see you as human no matter how attractive you are. You're so eager for your representation in hopes that these bigger bodies become praised as the pinnacle of beauty in society, that society largely containing these people that don't see you as human. You're actively throwing your fellow black women under the bus, ignoring the political message behind the statue, just so you can see a statue that looks like you. That's extremely selfish.
Her nose. Y'all weren't there, but I remember how the black community tore down Lupita Nyong'o regarding her red carpet appearances when she came out with her short natural hair as is. This is the side of history y'all are on. In the future, when there is a wider range of plus-size women represented and accepted and normalized, when people study how plus-size women were received in society, they're gonna pull up y'all's tweets, they're gonna pull up y'all's nasty-ass TikToks, they're gonna pull up the hateful-ass shit you said about a statue that isn't even a real person.
Okay, so when it comes to the normalization of plus-sizedness, I don't think it should be normalized. I don't think it should be demonized either. But I don't think people should be accepting risking their lives for some food. I understand that some people have medical issues that limit them from weight loss. So this is not about them. I'm talking about the people who willingly put themselves at higher risk of untimely death. I don't think that should be normalized. Again, I don't think it should be demonized either. I don't think that this should be demonized because I don't want people to be harassed for something that they can't change instantly. But I do believe that it should be praised. I think as a society, we should move closer to body neutrality and put an emphasis on being healthy rather than just being thin. Because of course, when you're more healthy, you will naturally look healthier. But regarding what she said after about black women making nasty tweets and TikToks, I don't think you know how well the propaganda is doing. If you think that black women are saying insane things, wait till you see what non-black people are saying. Truly horrifying stuff. I'm not going to show you some of the harsher things that are being said by non-black people because I don't think that benefits anybody's mental to see how much they truly despise you. But I will show you some of the ones that I found. Mind you, these were some of the tamest responses I could find. A lot of them were brutal. I hope this video has helped put in perspective why the statue is not as positive as some people make it out to be. But yeah, that will be all from me today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel and press the bell notification button if you'd like to be notified on any future uploads. Thank you, bye!